Fuck your goddamn cease and desist order, nigga. Now I just read out what you did, bitch. You a nasty motherfucker.
TV. I'm about to get ready to do a deep part 3 breakdown on your boy Kwame Brown, and I'm gonna take this real deep, and I'm gonna explain the whole aspect of the Charlemagne and this whole thing that's going on. Now, if you ain't seen part 1, part 2, I'm actually gonna just drop them below, and this is gonna be a serious video, and I want y'all. I had to let it ease down, and I want to just take time to really observe this because a lot of people have a high level of emotion. You know what I'm saying? So I had to really sit back and dissect this even further to prove my point of like we have to understand they did the same thing with Colin Kaepernick and all of the things that they expose. You feel what I'm saying? Even though it looked like they're attacking this, attacking that, it's all when you understand how the Masons work. Everything is it's about foundation building. Every brick matters. Some bricks you add on to it later on. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm gonna show what I mean in this video about where I'm about to take this. So I want y'all to follow me. So first off, when you understand about Charlemagne the God and this whole thing with Kwame Brown, what is so deep is I want y'all to notice how Kwame Brown obviously have the American flag on his hat, and he has the shirt. I made a mistake and crossed it out, but the shirt that he's wearing is called the Browning Company. You feel what I'm saying? I want y'all to listen to me on this. When you understand about the Browning Company produces firearms and fishing gear. You feel what I'm saying? And the man who created it, which is a high level aspect, his name was John Moses Browning. Hint the whole aspect of Kwame Brown and the Browning, because when you understand the Brown aspect, that represents nothing but the whole theme of like, being called up from the earth. That whole theme of like man, the flesh aspect. Just keep it simple. And notice how his name was Moses too, but I want to just keep this thing flowing. When you understand this, which is so serious, y'all, and I want y'all to just hear me out, is the whole aspect of this whole thing, like I was talking about when he first started out in the NBA. Hear me out on this, y'all. This is some serious talk. Like I was talking on my first video. Pay attention. No, you would know that Kwame Brown, he was the first high school #1 draft pick, in the NBA ever. And he was drafted by the Washington Wizards. His first game was against the Golden State Warriors on 9/11, the same day of 9/11 towers. So what I want to talk about is like notice how he comes 2021, hint 2001, 2021. And when you understand this, which is very serious, is because he's wearing, like I said, the Browning Company, the whole aspect of the firearms. And notice they was playing against the Warriors because all that represents is nothing but the whole theme of the whole aspect of the war against the saints of God. Hence the whole aspect of the firearms and the fishing gear, because when you understand the fishing aspect as it's written in scripture, that you know that the Antichrist, aka the great beast, shall be lifted up and risen up out the sea. And he should bring forth the name of blasphemy and etc. and war against the saints. Because all that represents hint the whole aspect of the Browning Company. This stuff is that real because the war against the saints, remember in 2020, we had the monoliths out there in Utah, out in Moab, Utah. And I actually broke this down on the weekend. I did it this is like February I broke that down. But about the whole monolith aspect, and when you understand about Moab, Utah, which is a very serious thing, because when you look at it, the surface of Moab, Utah looks just like Mars. And the whole theme of like the war against the saint, Mars representing rulership and the war against the saints of God. You feel what I mean? Because when you understand Moab, just to go into this, I want to really take y'all on a real deep video. This is going to be a deep one. When you understand the scriptures as is written in Jeremiah 48:44, he that fleeth from fear shall fall into the pit, and he that getteth up out of the pit shall be taken in a snare. For I will bring upon it, even upon Moab, hit Moab, Utah. This is talking about the land of Moab, and I'm just saying this is the reason why Moab, Utah had the monoliths appear. Because how we are in spiritual Egypt, spiritual Sodom and Gomorrah, and spiritual Babylon, as is written in scriptures. But it said, even upon Moab, the year of their visitation, saith the Lord, because a day of great judgment is near. Hence why they bring him forth, because, like I said, 2001, he was a wizard, hence the whole aspect of masonry, wizardry, sorcery, going against the warriors, because that represents the golden refined warriors of God. And when you look at the warriors, notice this year how the warriors how they had to lose against the grizzly bear as well, Memphis Grizzlies, because as it's written in scripture, um, that the grizzly, aka the bear, you see how it says that the beast was seen with the feet of a bear, and that the bear was to devour much flesh. Hint the whole aspect of everything going on right now in this new world that we're pushing into, the aspect of how they want the blood. You feel where I'm going with this? Is that real? How they want our blood? Hint the whole aspect of like the shot. You feel what I'm saying? And what's so deep is how they said that Kwame Brown, Charlamagne, my bad, sent lawyers against Kwame Brown. I want y'all to follow me because I'm about to take this deep. When you understand that whole aspect of 2021, which is a very high level year, is because 2021 represents the year of the revealing, of the year of the justice. Hint why this year you had Billie Holiday versus the United States, and hint this year you had Derek Chauvin being convicted allegedly, with the whole George Floyd situation, how he got convicted. A lot of this stuff is going on. They got Dante Wright's, court case happening this year in December. It's a lot of levels of justice. You see how they bringing out the new Casey Anthony film, I think in a couple of documentary in a couple of days. Everything is about the aspect of justice because Billy, anyway, just to prove my point, like I've been breaking this down in my videos. Exodus 3:14, the Most High told Moses his name is I am that I am. So hint the name William, the will of I am that I am, the will of God. And when you understand that, hint Billie Holiday. So it's like basically saying the will of God's holy day versus the United States. You feel what I'm saying? All of this stuff just ties together when you understand how all of this just, comes into fruition. And we got to be able to see this stuff so we not being tricked. That's why they said that he was sending lawyers against them because it all represents nothing but the great aspect of the justice year. The aspect of the Messiah bringing forth justice. And when you understand Kwame Brown too, which is very serious, it's like I said, he started out as a wizard and then he ended up as a sixer. And I'm gonna get into that later on. Just let me paste that. But when you know about it anyway, Kwame Brown, all of this ruckus started out like in what, like mid-May, like May 15th, 16th, up in that time. Hint that whole aspect of that was around the time of the Boule, Masonic, the Black Boule Society's birthday. I think they started May 15th, 1902 or 09, up in that area, something like in that area in the early 1900s. So you look at that, this is not by mistake. How he's 39, Malcolm X allegedly dies at 39, Dr. King allegedly dies at 39. All of these things is high level, man. You feel what I'm saying? And I want to just keep this thing flowing because, like I was talking about the name, um, aspect. So I want to just keep this thing flowing because when you understand 9/11 too, which is very serious. Remember how I said how he started his career on 9/11? When you understand that, hint this when you know about how what 9/11 really represented, 9/11 really represented the whole aspect of the temple of Jerusalem, the temple of Solomon being destroyed by the Romans. You feel what I'm saying? Like I did the J. Cole videos. I got all of those. You can check them out where I explain his whole album cover, his whole music and everything. And I got another one coming on him soon. But hint the whole aspect of like the Solomon Temple. And that's what the whole theme of the 9/11 towers represents. You know what I mean? All of that represented was them trying to say that they was going to destroy the temples of Solomon, the temples of the of the Most High. You know what I mean? Because a whole aspect of this, which is that serious, is because when you understand all of that anyway, which literally just got me thinking, because I was like, come on, man, it's all in our face. Hint Jerusalem. You spell the name Jerusalem, Jerusalem. That's why they were saying that they made the new Jerusalem when they built America on Plymouth Rock in Massachusetts. You feel what I'm saying? So all of this stuff comes together. The whole aspect of like where I'm going with this, the 9/11, because when you understand Revelation 9/11, which is so serious, is because that represents nothing but like the beast emerging out of the smoke of the bottomless pit. Let's keep this thing flowing. My point, hint, the people who made the Twin Towers was Minoru Yamasaki and Robert Moses. Remember when I was talking about the Browning company that Kwame Brown was wearing earlier, was created by a man named John Brown, Moses Browning. Notice how all of this comes together to set a war against the saints. You feel what I'm saying? And I'm about to take it even deeper because hint this whole aspect right here. Kwame Brown, I'm gonna delve and let this thing play in a minute because it was so much in this, man. But when you look at it, notice the hat he's wearing. You see how it's nothing but like it's the dog with the bones and the whole aspect of that anyway when you understand that, hint the whole theme of like the atomic dog, you know, when you spell God backwards it's dog. And when you understand the aspect of the atomic dog, that represents nothing but like the ultimate shepherd. You know what I mean? You know, hint why like, you know, used to see all the old cartoons like Scooby Doo with the dog, Charlie Brown with Snoopy, because remember how the Most High said, build him a house that he can dwell in forever. Hint why Charlie Brown and them used to build the house for Snoopy, just an example. But notice why he got the dog with the bones on his hat, because hint the whole aspect of the skull and bones. And when you understand that, they keep the Messiah as a sacrifice instead of as a king. So I'm going to play some clips in this because I want y'all to hear me out. Just pay attention to this, y'all. This is some real stuff.
I think that's a good segue to go into. You told me a story about how.
You see how Judge Joe Brown, notice why he went to what's his name? Charlamagne sent lawyers. Notice why Kwame Brown went to go get a judge, Joe Brown. Come on, y'all. And notice why Joe Brown is drinking from a coffee cup. I'm gonna delve into this in a minute because when you understand the Breakfast Club, remember how the Messiah is as a daily bread. You know how it says that the word of God is our daily bread. Hint the toast, the Breakfast Club, the coffee aspect. Because when you understand the aspect of the coffee, you know that's like the great awakening in the morning. You know what I mean? And when you know coffee is black, you know what I mean? That's what. And when you understand the whole aspect of the black, that represents nothing but the whole theme of like the Messiah. You feel what I mean? The bronze serpent, you know, burnt as if he's bronze, as if he was burnt in a furnace. So hint that whole aspect of all of that. You feel what I mean? So when you're looking at this, notice why his coffee cup got guns all over it. And I just told y'all about your boy Kwame was wearing a Browning company with dealing with the guns and the fishing gear. Pay attention to this.
Charlemagne the God got his name, and I thought that was interesting. I don't think people know that. Why would he call himself that based on what you're going to explain?
And I'm going to delve deep into this. Just listen to this blasphemy because we think they talking about Charlemagne, but let's delve deep into
What
this.
is he, 5'6"?
Charlemagne?
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea.
Path.
Dang.
There was one little all through Europe. He was a Franco-German. The real Charlemagne,
listen to this,
was an Adolf Hitler prototype, but an Adolf Hitler on steroids. He did ethnic cleansing all through Europe. He was a Franco-German. It meant Charles the Great. So this.
You hear that? Charles the Great. Let's listen to this, y'all. I'm going to delve real deep into this.
Clown on the Breakfast Club is saying Charles the Great, the God.
Now listen to this. Now I want y'all to really pay attention to this because I just showed y'all about the whole aspect of the war against the saints and the whole theme of why they're, you know, why they have all of this stuff right in our face. Because when you understand the name Charles, which is this is what they don't want us knowing. When you understand, this is why all the kings' name was Charles, Williams, and Lewis. I just told y'all about William being the will of I am, because remember the Most High already said that many shall come in the name of Him. You know what I mean? And like I've been breaking this down, you have not heard of a king, you know, coming in like the names of like Yahushua, you know, Jesus, whatever you want to say, you know what I mean? Because the whole aspect of when you understand Lewis, it derives from Yahushua, which is the Messiah's name in the Hebrew. So it becomes Lewis when you translate it to the English. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is that deep. So when you hint why he's saying Charles and all of that don't mean nothing but the free man. You know what I mean? And when you understand those old kings, when they came in that name, this is how they was able to establish those empires. Because remember, the Most High said that they blaspheme His name. Remember, I just read that to y'all in Revelation 13 when it talked about that the beast shall emerge, bringing forth the great blasphemy of the name. You feel what I'm saying? This is why Charlemagne the king was succeeded by Louis the Pious, because when you understand the name Louis, Louis is nothing but the stone that the Freemasons reject to use. You know what I mean? As it's written in Psalms 118:22, the stone which the builders, aka Masons, has reject to use has now become the headstone of the world. You feel what I'm saying? Hence why Illuminati pyramid don't have any headstone. because that represents nothing but the Most High, the Messiah being the head of the world. They don't want that. You feel what I'm saying? I just showed y'all about your boy Kwame Brown wearing the bones and the dog, and how he's basically saying he's calling himself Charles the Great. When you understand all of this, they talking in code. But when you don't know about the code, the whole aspect, like I was just telling y'all earlier, and this is why I'm about to prove my point. The whole aspect is all of these false, messiahs are being pulled out the way. Hence why this year you had like Hank Aaron, you had all of these legends, just all of these rappers, the legends, a lot of these people who are like high in the blasphemy are being moved out, or who were used for blasphemy are being moved out the way, because the war is now about to turn against the saints of God on a high level. You feel what I'm saying? And we got to be prepared and understand what's going on. Otherwise, we're going to be just another person thinking, oh, yeah, he's talking that real. When you don't know what's going on, everything is going to sound true to you. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand the whole aspect of this is why Charlamagne was on the radio air. This is why he's on the radio on the Breakfast Club. I just told y'all about the daily, it's all blasphemy, daily bread of life. And then the whole aspect with breakfast, the club representing nothing but the rod of the Messiah. And then the whole aspect of him being on the air, because remember that the Messiah, his voice shall be heard. You know what I'm saying? And then at the same time too, you know how the Messiah would destroy the rulers of the air, aka the Satan kingdom. You know what I mean? How all of this stuff ties together. And when you understand it too, this is why Charlemagne is saying that he apologized to Kwame Brown and he gave himself the donkey of the day. Because remember in the scriptures, you remember the Messiah, the whole aspect, you remember the Messiah? You remember he rode the donkey. Remember, because donkey represent nothing but Israel anyway. But you remember the Messiah rode donkey. You know what I mean? And you remember Isaac, the son of Abraham, rode the donkey when he was about to become a sacrifice on the altar, even though it was prevented. But the whole aspect of that was like, to be prepared to ride in to be the sacrifice, the great savior. This is why Charlemagne is saying he's the donkey of the day, because now he's the one riding away as the one who they're utilizing to try to say that they're attacking the Messiah, because this is all a year of justice. That's why they bringing up saying about the whole aspect of the rape. People knew about this. If you known about it, because remember he was with Wendy Williams years ago, and then you remember how he went down, like a whole aspect of that whole situation after that rape case is how he blew up. You know what I mean? After that. So all of this stuff was all premeditated. That all goes back to what I was talking about the wizards versus the saints. I mean the warriors, the saints. You know what I'm saying? How all of this stuff comes together. It is all about who got the eyes to see and ears to hear this. 21. We got to be able to see these things. Otherwise, we're gonna be fooled. Hint, like I was talking about the whole aspect with the guns. You feel what I'm saying? And then when you pay attention to it to prove my point too, remember I was talking about how he was drinking out the coffee cup, right? Notice the Bucks just beat the Heat and the coffee stock plummet. Hence the Breakfast Club is falling apart, and then soon as the Bucks beat the Heat, the coffee stock is going down. This is not by mistake. Hence why he got no coffee in his cup. All of this, and notice how he's in the plane, and you see the exit right there. Hint the whole aspect of him being in the plane, because you see the curtains are open. When you understand this, all this symbolism, man. When you understand that how the Messiah is as the jet, you know what I mean? He's caught up into the throne, and the curtain being open represented. Remember during the crucifixion, remember the curtain, aka the veil, had split to reveal that the Messiah was the Son of God, that he was the right sacrifice. All of this comes together. And people who say, oh man, Stephen, nobody replying, ESPN ain't replying to it. Why in the heck do you think they all are mentioning this? You got everyone getting involved. Dr. Boyce Watkins, think about it, all the smoke. Stephen A. Smith did a whole show, basically a whole segment talking about him, blaspheming him. All of this stuff is all about, the battle of the bully. Let's stop the bully, because when you understand this, when you understand all of this stuff, hint the people who he attacking all have the names of the Most High. Hint the Charles aspect. You see, like Stephen, you remember Stephen was the one who witnessed, was the martyr who witnessed the right hand side of when he was being, crucified. He saw the Messiah on the right hand side of God. He saw the heavens and saw that the Messiah is true. You know what I'm saying? Notice why he's attacking all of them. Because when you understand the name Kwame, like I think I put in my first and second one, Kwame don't mean nothing but born on a Saturday. Hint, May 4th, 1776, when Illuminati started, was on a Saturday. Come on, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Hint why he's saying love beat hate every time. Because the hate of this world is righteousness, is truth. Love is embracing the lie and the deception. Like all of this is in our face. Hint the whole aspect too of of the fishing gear. Remember, I'm gonna show y'all this right quick. Remember I was talking about the Brown and Company with the fishing gear and the guns? Hint why the NBA playoffs got the sharks and the fish inside of the sea. Because remember when I was talking about that in Revelation 13, you feel what I'm saying about the beast coming up out of the sea. And I'm gonna show y'all something right quick. Bear with me because I'm about to take it deep. Busta Rhymes Czar, I love using this video because this came out like a week before Biden got elected. Notice the Masonic Illuminati pyramid. Notice he's in the sea, and just pay attention to this.
Do you understand how hard he brings it? Nobody's following this motherfucker. Nobody.
Look. Notice he's riding a fish. The beast out the sea, y'all. The great Antichrist, you know what I mean? Everything's coming together, the great deception. Now I want y'all to listen to this because this is going to prove my point. Like I've been breaking this down for a while now. Pay attention to this. Notice the beast out the sea.
Kill them all.
Kill them all. You see the Illuminati pyramid? Notice the lightning because Satan falleth as lightning. Remember Lil Nas X this year had the shoes where he had the scripture on it about Satan falling from heaven as lightning. And remember how he went down to hell on that music video.
Take chains off!
You see how it says take chains off? Because Michael Blackson is representing, you know, Michael don't mean nothing but one who like God, and Blackson, son of Black, aka son of the Most High. You know, hint the whole aspect of, like I was talking about, the bronze serpent and the whole theme of the Messiah, you know, being as a black man. You feel this stuff is real, man. Pay attention to the chains. You see how he turned into bones? Remember when I was showing y'all earlier that hat that Kwame Brown was wearing? Remember when I was showing y'all that? You know what I'm saying? Because all that represented was nothing but the whole aspect of the skull and bones. They want to keep the Messiah as a sacrifice so their kingdom can keep going on. Look at this. This stuff real. Look at that. The bowels, because that represents nothing but, remember the Messiah, when he was crucified, he went into the bowels of the earth and regenerated and went to before the whole aspect of the great ascension in the heavens. So they said if we can keep him as a ram sacrifice, we can as a goat sacrifice, we can possess the earth and rule. This stuff crazy. Look. See?
Bag full of francs, every federal known crispy. The great Bush Rhymes, with a few dimes. Just spoke your name up, you gon' live a long time. See, when we in this bitch, most you niggas get no shine. Invalid niggas, stop begging for cosigns. Now this be the doses to have them black and make them do shit. Then they back up until it fucking break into.
Break into, because when you understand the back, all that, remember the George Floyd, when they had a knee on his back, that represented nothing, so the kingdom, the Messiah wouldn't rise. So they want to keep us, you know, in deception and in ignorance, and keeping ourselves, you know, caught up in into the destruction. You know what I mean?
Launch grenade bombs, spit that venom to break up your legs and both arms.
You feel what I'm saying? The whole aspect of that spitting that venom that break up your legs and both arms. The whole aspect of the war against the saints of God. You feel what I'm saying? The war against the saints, y'all. This stuff, if you ain't got the eyes to see this, you ain't gonna know what's going on, because hint how all the people are praising, everybody is giving him attention. Hint how he's wearing Land of the Free. Notice all the people are doing impressions of him. Like, look at that, Land of the Free. That's all talking about the Masons. Do what thou wilt, be free. Hint the whole aspect of why he got the earth behind him, and you see how he got the trophy. You feel what I'm saying? And the angel wings in the background, because that represent them trying to say that they're taking over the world. You know how Satan is the fallen angel, you know what I mean? That they're possessing the world and this is about to be their kingdom, that they want to literally rule. Hence why he wearing a robe. You know what I mean? You know, the whole aspect too. This stuff is that real, y'all. Hint the key behind him, and that you see that whole aspect of the mark on his hat. Hint the whole aspect of the key. You know, because when you look at the key, all that represents is nothing. You know how the Messiah has the key of David and the key to life and death. Hence why they saying that they can do the same thing, because they can be as gods themselves, that they can conquer death and rule. Hence, we the people need to boycott the Breakfast Club. We the people, aka the Masons. We the people versus us, aka remember how the Most High says, "Let us make man in our image." Hence, we're the us versus the we. You feel what I'm saying? This stuff is crazy, man. This stuff is crazy. You know, and I hint how he was talking about the whole aspect about the LG, you know, B and everything going on with that. How he was saying, you know, he was calling out against it. Remember, I said all of this was around the time of the Boule. And everybody already know about the whole aspect of the Boule, man. The Boule are not, they nothing but the whole aspect of the modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, man. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff, and it's all in our face. You see the whole aspect of Stephen A. Smith wearing the Black Power jacket. Hint that whole aspect of that. Keep us in the loop of the black, the darkness, you know what I mean, of the Saturn energy. Keep us in that black pride loop so that we can keep going through the same race loop over and over again. Keep us trapped in this earth so that we don't rise and become kings, man. You feel what I'm saying? They just want to keep this. All was nothing but like the component of trying to have the brother against brother, you know, and the whole aspect woke, the whole woke versus it's just all bull crap, man. You feel what I'm saying? It's all bull crap. And it's just like, if you can't see this, you know what I mean? It's all in our face. You feel what I'm saying? Because like I was talking about it, the battle against Charlemagne. Like I was saying, the name Charles, you know what I mean? Don't mean, you know, Chuck. If you watch Supernatural, remember Chuck is God on Supernatural. You know what I mean? And he was from where? Kansas. And I've been breaking down Kansas a lot because, you know, Kansas is in a tornado alley. And remember, as it's written, that the Messiah is as the whirlwind. So pay attention to that. So notice the chuck anyway is like the pulley system that you use to raise up, you know, stones and material. So hint the whole aspect of like the Illuminati pyramid and how the Messiah is being risen up as the headstone. He no longer gonna be able to be rejected. Everything is coming into fruition. You feel what I'm saying? And like I was talking about, to prove my point some more, remember Kwame Kilpatrick and Kwame Brown. Remember I think I had this on my first video if I'm not mistaken. Kwame Brown, remember he was drafted 2001. Kwame Kilpatrick was elected 2001. And like I'm from the city of Detroit, so people who remember Kwame Kilpatrick, remember what did he do? He brought the city to shambles, man. Hint the whole aspect of why they using him in this time now. And remember, Kwame Kilpatrick just got released by Donald Trump last year. Remember that. You feel what I'm saying? All of this stuff comes together. And remember, like I was to say this, how Kwame Brown's dad name is William. And you remember I was talking about the Exodus 3:14, I am that I am, the will of God, the will of I am that I am. And your boy Kwame Kilpatrick, his mother name is Carolyn. And when you understand the name Carolyn, all that does is derives from the Messiah, which means nothing but the anointed one, Carolyn, Cara, you know, Carol, Cara. Hence why, what's his name? Kwame Brown is from Charleston, South Carolina. Hence the Carol aspect, and then the Charles. And your boy Charlamagne too. Charlamagne is from Charleston, South Carolina. You think this is by mistake? And he's 42 years old this year. And when you understand the number 42, how symbolic that is, the whole aspect of like your boy Chadwick Boseman allegedly dying at 42 after he played Jackie Robinson, who was 42, who wore number 42. That all goes into the power of the Negro, you know, in that aspect of the geometry of vibration. This stuff is that real, y'all. You feel what I'm saying? It's that real. And they're both from Charles. You think Charles, South Carolina. You think this is by mistake? This is all a big game right before our eyes, man. And the whole aspect to it, what I meant to mention earlier, remember I was talking about it, how he started out with the Wizards and he ended his career with the Philadelphia 76ers. Hint the whole aspect as it's written in scripture. Remember, Kobe is from Philadelphia. And remember, I've been breaking that down about as it's written that through the key of that through the church of Philadelphia, the Messiah has the key of David, the key to open the doors of heaven and to shut it. Remember when I was showing y'all earlier about that key that he had in the background? Y'all think this is by mistake, man? And when you understand the whole aspect of Charles, like I was talking about, my bad, about the Church of Philadelphia, hint the 76ers, right? The 76er represents nothing but the top of the altar, the 76 degrees that they want to knock off. But that's no longer working because the Messiah is coming back into head. Everything is manifesting. And what I want to say, remember, he started out with the Wizards and he ended up on the 76ers because that all represents nothing but the Masons trying to say that they're able, the wizard, the Mason, trying to say that they're able to reach the top of the altar and rule, that they battling against the top of the altar. They're going to keep control and try to keep him, the Messiah, from reaching the top of the altar. Hint why this year you had Godzilla wanting to go home, aka the throne, and he had to battle King Kong. I mean, he had to battle my bad. He had to battle King Kong, want to go back home to the throne, and he had to battle Godzilla. That was a big movie this year. That was a big energy that was released. Notice the whole aspect anyway of like the how King Kong was from the land of the skull. Hint Skull Island. Hint the Messiah was crucified in the land of the skull, aka Golgotha. Hint Sub-Zero versus Scorpion. Sub-Zero representing the Masons, the Saturn, the cold, the darkness, versus the light, aka the Messiah, the Scorpion. Notice how all of this comes together. It's just about who got the eyes to see, man. You see how they did this right in our face? We did, but we didn't, people didn't recognize it. You feel what I'm saying? Notice how he started out with the Wizards and ended up on the 76ers. Notice why who's the number one team this year that's playing in the playoffs. The 76ers are ranked number one in the East, and the Wizards are ranked at the bottom. Because as it's written that the Most High said that Satan will be brought down to the bottom of the pit. The Wizards are being brought down. That's why they try to do the attack Charlemagne ritual. You know what I'm saying? And like I was talking about it earlier, remember about that hat? I said they got the skull and bones that he was wearing. Let me play this right quick with the dog on it. Listen to this.
So in a way we the dog catchers. How many bullets your dog catch?
We the dog catchers. I broke down J. Cole already. Go check that out. But the dog catcher aspect represent nothing but trying to say they stopping the Most High from coming in. They stopping the Messiah from coming into ruling the world in righteousness. So all of this stuff connects, man. But like I said, who got the eyes to see and the ears to hear this? I challenge all of y'all. You feel what I'm saying? I challenge all of y'all to do this, your research on this, man, and really start paying attention to what's going on, learning what these names mean. You feel what I'm saying? I give y'all these videos. Charles, Williams, Lewis, Carl. All of this stuff matters, man. These names matter. You know, and I got more videos coming. You know what I'm saying? I want y'all to actually just continue to watch these videos, and let's just really continue to push the truth, y'all. Thank y'all for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming. Peace.